So yeah, because it's quite short, so I just try to preview a little bit. Well, yeah, this is some fact that worrying about the world. Everyone know about the impact of agricultural productions have on the earth, including the soil degradations, the biodiversity, the water use, the food system around us, and the potential that we are not going to be able to sustain the demand of the global world. I want to give you a little bit background about Vietnam. After reviewing career experience in developing agriculture, I just realized that we are in a gap of a few decades, and it's like too late for the country to kind of catch up. Even though the public and the private sectors in Vietnam have been taking a drastic move in kind of improve the country from food safety, food scarcity to food safeties. But the country is now still facing a lot of challenges related to its labor force. The urban encroachment is also a problem because there will be competitions in terms of areas for agricultural productions. On the other hand, the soil fatalities related to our overuse of our chemicals over the decades is another challenge that cannot be addressed within a few days. Climate change is another area that Vietnam is now facing. Given the current estimations, within the next 5 years, the country, nearly a third of the country will be submerged underwater. On the other hand, the current practice of the farmers in now using water in water-scarce seasons hasn't been changed yet. So obviously, the Vietnamese government is still trying to push up the agriculture as they see this as a potential for economic development, and the choice of the government is to increase productivities instead of looking at other economic, other eco-friendly solutions. So this is a platform I'm trying to work out on other solutions where we can tackle the 7 major crops that the country is now running famous for its volume of export, and in hope that will major impacts on improvement in eco-friendly agricultural practices, the impacts will be seen more clearly. Well, actually, after discussing with a lot of interviewing, I realized that each person have a different views on what the definitions of sustainable agriculture is. But it's all come to the same concept that it needs to be not an individual effort. It has to be a community effort. And it not just focus on the agricultural and the food sectors as it all, but we have to look at other broader views, and we have to involve a wider stakeholders. So in the past, our platform only involved the green one. So I'm just trying to explore the potentials of extending the relations to other stakeholders. I will come back about this again, but I agree, I discussed with Onjus about this, and it really comes to a sense that the country has to kind of agree on the definitions of what it is by sustainability. In the past, most of the innovations were focused on its own areas, either environment or socials or economics by its own, but there is clearly a link and we need to synergize all the effort on together. So the concept that I'm trying to explore, actually I think of so many options, like what the digital solution could be introduced to the country to actually improve the practice. But I just realized that those are just the tools. What is important is about the collaborative efforts of all partners. So I'm thinking of a new approach, that is to have a verify sourcing areas, which is piloting an area where all of the stakeholders will sign a deal and get together and improve and show the success case of all the collective efforts could change the environment impact. And the international stakeholders, we could include the agribusiness, it could be the off-taker, it could be the consumer out there, and they will be the one who got the information verified, and they can source the produce directly from Vietnam. And the solutions is to help with the transparencies in all of these monitoring and evaluations impact. And yeah, this is a roadmap for the partnership to build a rationale of sustainability agriculture so that partner can work together. We will mobilize the partner together and leverage their complementary differences, but not try to replicate the one that has been there already. The process is about collective and collaborations together and build a guidelines where partners agree on the method to work together. And of course, there's the need for improvement, the need for proof of models. This is where the innovations of partners can be introduced and they can leverage expertise from one another. And if the model has been proven, yeah, the system will take its own role and scale up. That is the visions. Thank you.